This is one of the existing bedrooms that we had. I wasn't greatly impressed because they managed to put the foot through the floor, and then we had to wait 6 weeks for them to come and repair that. So there's dust and rubbish everywhere. That's the finish of their electrical finish. You get close up on that?
Yep.
Yeah. Just what you want in your child's bedroom, I'd have thought. They did a useless job inside. We might just as well have a look outside as well. Come and have a look at this. As you'll notice that I got them to paint the cornicing up here. Can you see it's all on the black up there? Yeah? So that's a very poor piece of painting. Also, they just dripped the paint. Can you see all this paint here? And all the paint on the walls. Can you see up there, Georgie? Can you see the paint up there? They just managed to drip their paint onto my brickwork. Yeah? So you couldn't actually make a worse job if you tried. Because they weren't able to coordinate between the electrician and the project manager, it meant that the electrical work wasn't done when it was supposed to. Therefore, the electrician had to come back later. So what we have is that this is how they've left that. That's how they've left the light here as well. So this bedroom has kind of got smaller, but they've just left it like that. Get nice and close on that. Once again, they don't seem to have any ability to line anything up whatsoever. Yeah. Once again, because of the electrical circuits, then what you'll also see is that, once again we've got another electrical socket that's not finished. It appears that what happened is that there was a problem. The manufacturer says that the plumber fitted a washer too tight, which then led to the whole kitchen ceiling coming down in the middle of January. This is how they've left the wall. They cut through to get the bit out and to find out what the problem is, and they've just left it like that. They fitted a new door on there, and to be honest with you, I don't really expect to have a gap there, of which is about an inch and a half to 2 inches underneath it. I'd have thought they'd have put a board over there rather than just left it like that, because that's a bit rubbish in my book. They also decided they're going to put they contracted to put an extractor fan in the bathroom. I'm 5'9" and I can just about reach. Unfortunately, my children can't. It just doesn't seem very clever, to be perfectly honest with you, to put it up there. I asked them to change a lock because our lock broke while they were here. And what we had is we had a piece of steel which is a security lock here, and I asked them to change the lock. What they did is they just ripped off the metal all the way down there, left the rivets coming through, so I needed to go and get an outside contractor to come and grind them off, and this was the finish on the door. Can you see just how average that is? Yeah, they just left it. Another electrical socket has just been left like this, once again because of the coordination of the electrician and the electrician and the project manager. It means that we're left with it like this. So we had a chimney breast taken out here. So they took that out before Christmas, and they eventually came back to plaster it in sometime in, was it late January? Late January. So we had just bricks here. They also because they took the chimney breast out, they put a new piece of skirting board down there, which if you look at it, it's straight. Look, can you see the angle is like that? And that's their finish. And just look over there as well. Yeah. I just can't see there's a great deal for anybody at A1 to be tremendously proud about here. Right, getting to the real horror story stuff now. Because the plumber made an error, or that's what the manufacturer says, by tightening a washer too tight, at 3 o'clock in the morning all of the ceiling came down here. Yeah. So what happened is that they came back. The builder and the plumber came back. They kind of fixed the fault with a new washer and didn't do it out too tight, and that seems to be fine. And they replaced this. Can you get, once again, I don't know if you can see, but can you see the finish on this? It's like kind of the finish is really, really poor. Can you see the line, Georgie?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So that's all the way there through to here. And once again, look at this. This is just kind of just really poor quality.
A couple of metres squared.
Yeah. Also, like kind of the other thing I'd like to just say is that did they make a drama out of a crisis? Yes. The project manager undertook to do the claim on behalf of the plumber because it was going to come out of the somehow it was connected to the bit that the plumber purchased. He contacted the insurance company in January and then didn't contact them again until June, which means that I've paid loads of money out for a new handbag for my wife and all this stuff, and the project manager as such has done absolutely nothing about it for that duration. And once again, have a look at my website, I'll put the letter up. One of the other things that I asked the company to do was to put a new garden tap on, which is outside of the other side of the kitchen. When that did happen, I think what they did is they accidentally hit the switch behind the washing machine that made a little drip happen. So it kind of, there was a constant drip of cold water. Obviously I noticed the drip. I spoke to the project manager and he says, yes, I'll get the plumber to have a look at it. And the next day he says, yeah, the plumber's switched it off, it's all fixed, it's no problem at all. Obviously I thought there was a bit of wet there and just didn't worry about it for a couple of weeks, and then it obviously wasn't getting any better, so I went back to bind it. And what he'd done is you get a connection that goes into the back of the washing machine, and there's just a little switch. What he didn't do, I then phoned the plumber and he said, oh, well, I didn't put a cap on it. I said, I just made sure it was secure. I said, well, it's still leaking. So he said, oh, we'll just go to B&Q. So I went to B&Q, then I put a cap on it, and I thought that was going to kill it off, but then it didn't, so I had to phone the plumber again, and he said, put some of that white plumber's tape around it and then put the cap on it. So it's a little bit like having a dog and bark yourself. They did something that actually made the water leak, and then first of all denied responsibility and said it was all fixed, and it clearly wasn't. And this is what my floor looks like. Okay, with A1, what I also did is they forgot to order the windows. This would be the window here. So what that meant is that for the period from I think about the 12th of December through until about the 15th of January, we had a tarpaulin over the window. So we had a great big green tarpaulin here because they forgot to order the window. Right, another thing about the door handles that A1 fitted, as you can see, when I open the door here, yeah, the latch comes back, but it doesn't actually return. Yeah, so what that means is that every time you open and shut the door, you get a click, a little clicky sound every time. So once again, I mean, they don't seem to be able to fit a lock.